The next one actually is one that I recently decided not to hold on to anymore, and that is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. There is a piece of tape on me, and I can't figure out why. Hello everybody, my name is Kelsey, and we're about to get very, very nerdy with an unhaul. A lot of hauls on this channel. I do one for every single month. I have since I started this channel. I love doing hauls. They're a lot of fun for me. But I've never done an unhaul. And I realized that, at least recently, I unhaul a lot of things. Like every time I get a new book, I'll go to the section of the bookshelf where it's supposed to go based on the genre. And I'll look around to see if there's anything that I don't need anymore. And I basically, not every single time, but almost every single time, get rid of a book for every single book that I purchase and put on my shelves. So I have a gigantic box here. Like, I can't even show it to you. It's gonna break if I move it. And I don't even know what's in here anymore. This has been accumulating for a couple of months, but I've never done an unhaul. And I thought, why not? I show you guys the amounts of books that I purchase and put into my shelves. Why not show you the ones that come off of them? So, I honestly don't know what's in here. There's a few on top that I can see, and I've recently unhauled, so I know that they're in here, but I don't know what's going to be in here. I really don't. So let's get right into it. The one right here on top, I think, is the only graphic novel in here, maybe. That is the first volume of Monstrous by, I always forget, Marjorie Liu and Sanya Takeda. This is a horror manga, which I love the art. I think it's stunning, but it is a little creepy. It's a little graphic for me. I picked up the first one because I wanted to invest in some more graphic novels, and I'd heard great things about this. Read it, was like, it's okay. And then I read this second one on Hoopla, so I have no intention of purchasing the rest of the series. I'm not even sure I'm going to continue with the rest of the series, so why hold on to one when somebody else can enjoy it more than I can? So we're going to get rid of that one. Kind of in the same vein, I'm going to get rid of my copy of The Celloist of Sarajevo by Stephen Galloway. Read this last year. Really, really disliked it. Pretty sure this was my least favorite book of last year. It's set around a war, and this town of Sarajevo is actually a real town, and there's this whole thing that surrounds it, and I just don't know if I didn't pick up on it, or I don't know. I didn't personally love it. I honestly held on to it so I could show it, and these are all the books that I read in 2020. But now we can get rid of it because I'm not going to pick that one up again. What is even in here? Ooh, let's do some of these. So some of these are, there's a couple of John Grisham books in here. Are there not anymore? There might be down there. My husband has been getting the hard copies from a bargain warehouse near us because the paperback copies are these little tiny ones, and he likes the big hardbacks. So some of the ones that we have recently replaced are The Whistler and Rogue Lawyer by John Grisham. I don't see any more on top, so I feel like those are the only ones that he has unhauled. They're good books, they just, we wanted different versions of them. Same with this one, which is the paperback copy of My Lady Jane. I have the second two in the series, My Plain Jane and My Calamity Jane, in hardback, and their second series, the Marie series, that's coming out, or starting this year. So I'm going to get them all in hardback, and so this is the only one that I had in paperback, and I found a hardback at that bargain warehouse and decided to pick up a hardback for real cheap to match the rest of my series. So that one kind of within the same vein. Another one that I have unhauled is For Women Only by Shanti Feldman. Actually, this one actually might be tied with The Celloist of Sarajevo for a worst book from 2020. Despised this book. Went into it with not the best expectations, so maybe I set myself up for failure there, who knows, but really, really disliked this book, so cannot wait to get rid of that one. No thank you. What's this? Oh, this is a small copy of The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. When my husband and I combined libraries, we had multiple copies of this book. The font is really, really tiny, and my copy was a little bigger, is prettier. He doesn't care about which copy we kept as long as we had one, so getting rid of that one. Alright, I think now we're getting into some of the ones I haven't read that I just decided to unhaul. Oh wait, no, here's a few. So these 3 are also my husband's copies. He's been collecting this series that meant a lot to him when he was little, and this author that meant a lot to him when he was little, and he has almost all of them in hardback except for like 2. So he has rebought them in hardback and replaced the paperbacks. And that is John Feinstein, and so we've got The Rivalry and Last Shot, but we've actually got 2 copies of Last Shot because when he bought a hardback, they sent him the paperback anyway. So yeah, so we have 2 copies of Last Shot and The Rivalry that we're unhauling because we found better hardbacks. Okay, this one, I'm just like going through these. I don't have a lot to say about a lot of these. This one is another one that my husband has unhauled, and that is The Mormon Murders by Steve. Oh, I hate this writing. They've got like the multiple colored behind. It looks, my eyes are going funky. Stephen Nifa and Gregory White Smith. He actually read this one, and I don't remember what he thought about it. I know if it's in this box, he probably didn't love it. I have this vivid memory of him like complaining about this book to me. So he didn't particularly love this book. Getting rid of it. Okay, now we're getting into the books that I haven't quite read, but I decided to unhaul anyway. So the first one is actually a copy that was just randomly given to me when I was at YALLFest, and that is Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. I am going through this phase where I'm discovering that high school YA romances, unless it's about something very specific, aren't my thing anymore. But this is just one that I didn't even pick up for myself. It was just one that was gifted to me, and I was like, free book, sounds cool. And then the more I look at it, the more I'm like, I'm never going to read that. Why is it still here? So getting rid of that one. The next one actually is one that I recently decided not to hold on to anymore, and that is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. So this is one that, first off, I was real bitter because it's been ripped when I got my copy. It looks like it's been attacked. Like, this is the way it came in the mail. I'm pretty sure I bought it new. I had this for a few years, so I was really excited about it because it was told to me, like, if you liked Harry Potter, you would like this, because this girl is obsessed with this world's version of Harry Potter. But this story no longer appeals to me. I don't find myself wanting to read this book. It's just on my shelf. So, like, why am I holding on to it? I don't know. Right, so we're going to get rid of that one. The next few I actually picked up from a YALLFest. This one I'm actually debating. This one might not be on hold. This one might be put on a shelf downstairs and be on hold at a later date. I haven't decided. And that is The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Attier. This is a 1001 Nights retelling. It is the first in a duology. And like, I'm really, really interested in this story. I bought it at the first YALLFest because I liked listening to the author talk. And I haven't really done anything with it since. Like, I haven't even picked it up in the thought of reading it again, you know? So, or not reading it again, reading it for the first time. So this one I think I might hold on to just a little bit longer, but I still haven't decided if I want to read it or not. So if you guys like this story, let me know. Give me your reasons as to why I should keep this. So that one's actually a maybe. But this one, is this one? I think this one's actually signed. It is signed. Ooh, whoever gets this copy is gonna love it. And that is Dry by Neal Shusterman and Jared Shusterman. I've never read anything by Neal Shusterman, but I listened to his talk. This is what I'm discovering about myself, is at YALLFest I listen to these authors talk, and then I get interested in their story because of the things that they say, and then I buy them, and then I get home and I go, am I actually ever going to read that? And this is one of those. This story is about a town that loses its water, or like runs out of its water, and like, that does not appeal to me. So I'm not sure why I picked this up to begin with, but that one's going to go to a local shop, and whoever picks it up is going to be real happy that it's signed. The next one is this copy of The Prince and the Pauper by Mark Twain. We have 2 copies of this identical book. Like, we have this very pretty Reader's Digest copy on our shelves. We don't need 2. Gonna get rid of that one. This is a reference book that when my husband and I were in college, the library was like going through books and occasionally would just put them out in a cart, and if you walked by and found something interesting, you could pick it up and it was free. So my husband has a lot of reference books like this because of that, and this is the home book of Bible quotations. So I have no idea why he decided he didn't want this one anymore, but he doesn't want this one anymore. Oh, I actually do have another graphic novel, which is Mara Tidebreaker by Daniel Page, illustrated by Stephen Byrne. I liked the idea of this being a, like, person underground. Thought it was cool. I thought the art was really, really pretty, and, like, the colors I really liked. I did actually end up reading this one. Didn't particularly love it. That was a hard word to say. If you've seen Aquaman, this is a kind of like origin story for some of the characters. Aquaman is not one of the superheroes I know a lot about, so like this didn't really impact me in any way. It was just like a story, and I feel like if you knew the characters, then this would mean more to you, but it just didn't for me. I'm gonna pass this along to someone else who will appreciate it more than I, but I did actually read it, so that's good. So I've got 3 Owl Crate books here that I have decided to unhaul because I've had them forever and, like, I'm not interested in them anymore. The first one is The Glass Spirit by Lauren De Stefano. This is the second Owl Crate book that I ever received. Way back when, like, I first started my channel, I want to say. Or before I started my channel. Anyway, I don't remember a thing about what this is about. I remember when we got it, I was like, oh, okay, and I wasn't, like, particularly excited about it then. Clearly, I haven't picked it up since then. When did it come out? It came out in 2017. Haven't thought about it twice. Honestly, forgot that it was in this box. So that's gonna go somewhere. Someone's gonna appreciate it more. The next one is Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw. Again, picked this in an Owl Crate last year, or not last year, the year before, I think. And it's really pretty. I like the blue edges. I think the book itself is stunning, but like the story doesn't appeal to me, so why not to give it to someone else? And the last one is actually For Dead Queens by Astrid Schult. This is another one that I haven't decided on if I want to fully unhaul or not. Might hold on to it. Same with The Wrath and the Dawn. So if you've read this and you think I would enjoy it, let me know. Or if you enjoyed it, let me know. Tell me why I should keep it. I don't remember what it's about, but I know it's about queens, which I do like. I know when it came out I was excited about it, but like I haven't thought about it since. So maybe? We'll see. We'll put that over here as like a maybe pile. Oh, this is a good one. So I have in here The Revenge by Hannah Jane. This is one, I don't know if you remember, way back at the beginning of my channel, I did a blind book shopping thing with my best friend Lauren when I went into a Barnes & Noble and picked random books, blindfolded, and then decided to buy those. This was not my thing then. It has never been my thing. Nothing about this sounds interesting to me, and I don't know why I decided to go with it anyway. But I did. So I've held on to this one because I felt bad about not reading anything that I actually picked up in that vlog. So I'm pretty sure the 2 books that I came home with have both been unhauled by now. But I'm not interested in it. So it'll go to someone who actually cares. Yikes. The next one is Pilot's Wife by Antoinette May. This one I picked up in a, what's that warehouse called? Half Price Books. And I thought it sounded really interesting at the time. It's been many, many years since I picked this one up. It's about the Roman Empire, obviously, because it's about Pilate, who is the one who he didn't crucify Jesus, but like, he had to do with Jesus' crucifixion. And I think at the time it sounded really interesting, but now I'm not really interested in this story anymore. I picked it up and then I honestly forgot that I had it because it was hiding in a random corner. And so then I unhauled it and forgot that it was still here. Next one is this book, which is called The First Phone Call from Heaven by Mitch Albom. And it basically sounds exactly what you think it does. It's about a it's about a town that receives phone calls that people claim are from people who have died. And I gave this to my mom for Christmas one year because I thought it sounded interesting, and then what she does is when she's done reading a book, it comes back to me and it becomes part of our library, and this is just what happened with this one. Once I got it, I was like no longer interested in the story, so it's gonna go. It's gonna go as well. I don't even know what some of these are. The next one is this one, which is called Blood Rose Rebellion by Rosalind Eves. This is the first book in a series that is about magic, but it's set around British society, which I still am slightly interested in, but I don't know, like, it doesn't call to me anymore. So, yeah, we'll see. That's one that I got in a big warehouse as well. This is, I think, the first book I ever hauled on this channel. Is that right? It's one of. That is Everless by Sarah Holland. This is the first out of a duology. I honestly don't know what the series is called, but it's about a world where, like, blood is time, or like blood is currency. No, time is currency. Like the time on your life is currency, so you can give up years for food and like stuff like that. And it follows this family who is very, very poor, but in order to get your time, they have to like cut you and take your blood. I don't know. That's that section about the possible taking of blood really solidified this book. Because I thought about reading this for a long time, and then I finally picked it up one day just because I was like perusing my shelves, and I was like, oh, I remember this one. What was this one about? And like I read like a passage that was about blood. I don't know. It freaked me out, and I said, oh, well, I'm not really interested in this anyway, so let's just go ahead and get rid of it. So that's what I did. The next one is Release by Patrick Ness, which I have read. I got this at the very first Y'all Fest I ever went to because we heard Patrick Ness talking about it. I loved what he said about it. I said, oh, I'm going to give this a try. It is signed. And I didn't particularly love this. I think I gave it 3 stars because there was a portion of it that I was really interested in, and then there was a fantastical portion that I had no idea what was happening, and I still am not quite sure what I read. So I gave it a shot, but this is not for me, so I'm going to pass it along to someone who it might mean a lot more to them. Within the same vein is Georgia Peaches and Other Forbidden Fruit by Jane Robin Brown. This is one that I did start, but I DNF'd it within a few chapters because I just didn't feel the writing. I picked this up at a big warehouse book shop that was over by where my roommate and I used to live. I thought it sounded interesting because it's about a girl whose dad basically asks her to go back in the closet because they moved to this very, very conservative town. And I liked the topic in a sense, like I was curious how it was going to be handled, but I don't know, like the writing style and me didn't jive, and so I'm going to pass it along to someone who it might mean more to them than to me. The next one is actually Dreamland by Sarah Dessen. This one meant a lot to me when I was growing up. I read this book and really, really loved it. It's the first time I read a book that had to deal with a very dark subject. So I picked this one up because for my husband and I's wedding, we did like books that meant a lot to us as like the centerpieces, and this was just one of them. But I realized I didn't really want or need my own copy. We bought it for like $1, so someone else can read this because I'm never gonna pick that up again. Like, let's just be honest. And the next stack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are all books that I picked up because I was interested in them at one time, but am no longer, and I just never read them. The first one is Stolen by Lucy Christopher. This is kind of like I've been told that it's like a Beauty and the Beast retelling because it's about a girl who does get captured, and I think she has feelings for the person who captured her. This is one that I found in a Goodwill that just kept like grabbing my attention, and so I finally decided to pick it up to purchase, but never picked up to read. So I just held on to it. We're gonna just pass that along. The next one is Love in Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This one I liked the idea of, but my friend Lauren read it and we talked about this, and what she was saying about it, I was like, I'm not really interested in this one. So I picked this one up for super cheap, and we're going to pass it along to someone else who is going to enjoy a YA summer romance type of story. I think this takes place in Italy or Paris or Italy. Look at that, Italy. So it's a travel novel-esque, and I don't know, I'm just not really interested in these books anymore. So I'm gonna pass that along. Same with, actually I'm gonna do the next two together, which is Save the Date by Morgan Matson and Stay Sweet by Saban Vivian. These are two that I thought would be great for the summer, but they're both YA romances. Need I repeat myself on YA romances isn't my thing. I got this one about the same time that I was getting married, so I was in the wedding brain, and I thought it would be super fun, and I just have lost interest in it, to be honest. This one, I think it could mean a lot to a lot of girls, because it's about a woman-owned ice cream shop that the owner is a man, or like the owner's nephew takes over or something like that, and tries to change things, and so rivalry. But I think this is a super feminist-esque book, so that should go in the hands of someone who will appreciate it more. The next three, and then by the next three I mean the last three, are all books that I got from a big book warehouse because they were very cheap and I thought they sounded interesting at the time. Have grown up a little and have decided that these are have given myself some space between buying them, and I've decided these are not for me anymore. The first one is Romancing the Throne by Nadine Joel Courtney. This one I actually did try to read. I want to say it was last February, actually. And it's a YA romance that revolves around royalty. I love royalty romance, so I thought this one would be my thing, but I just never felt like I was in the mood for it. And then I never felt in the mood, so I decided, why am I holding on to this? I got some better YA romances revolving around royalty that I can read, so we're gonna get rid of that. The next one is this one, which is called Poison Kiss by Brenna Shields. I think it's about a girl who, if she kisses anybody, they die. But I think this just sounds like every other YA fantasy. Wasn't really my thing. Decided I didn't really need this anymore. Was not interested in it. Like a month after I bought it, I was like, why did I do that? So that one needs to go. Oh, and my stack is falling. And the very last one is this one, which is Learning to Swear in America by Katie Kennedy. I bought this because I liked the title. I think it's about, yeah, an asteroid that's hurtling towards Earth. Basically, teenagers are tasking together to save the world, which feels wrong. The title's what grabbed my attention, but I have not ever had the urge to pick it up, so that one is also going. How many do I have here? There are 36, including these two, which I think I might hold on to, and we'll see. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if I need to hold on to the two that I mentioned I'm debating on. But if you like this video, and I very much hope that you do, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you want to be part of this awesome growing family. I've also got all my social media as well as other bookish links down in the description, so don't forget to check those out, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! How am I going to get these books back downstairs? That's really the question.